So this has been a goal of mine for 19 years. 19 years. Yeah. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with Harvest Moon or not. I'm not going to sit here and give a whole rundown of what that is because that would take a very long time and I don't think anybody wants to listen to all of that. But in Harvest Moon DS and DS Cute, there is a bachelorette named Witch Princess, and I have been pining after this fictional woman for 19 years of my life. Yes, it is pathetic. Yes, I don't care. Why has this taken 19 years, you might be asking? The Witch Princess's marriage and almost all of her heart events were locked behind a glitch in the US version of the game. They did end up later releasing a cartridge where the glitch was fixed, but it's kind of hard to get your hands on the cartridge, and a lot of times people don't take a picture of the back of the cartridge when selling them, so you can't really decipher what version of the game it is until you have your hands on it, essentially. But I was able to get my hands on a ROM of it after like 400 million pages on Google, and I was able to put it on my R4 card so I could play it on the OG hardware. So to do the Witch's Black Heart event, you simply have to go into Ramona's mansion and then walk out, and you get a nice little cute cutscene. Where the Witch Princess really just displays her huge disdain for the Harvest Goddess. And you know what? I get it. I totally get it. What a queen. What an icon. She knows what she's talking about. I believe her. But for the Purple Heart event, the requirements get a little complex, if you will say. So, to get her Purple Heart event, you have to litter 10 times, which is, you know what? You're right. It's okay. Not too bad. Then we move on to, how do I say this? You have to kill 50 or more of your farm animals. Look, I'm sure, you know, everybody has flaws. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you're not perfect, which isn't perfect either, okay? You have to also donate a toadstool to the Harvest Festival for 5 years in a row, which is a poisonous mushroom in a potluck situation, and everybody gets sick. A little hee-hee-ha-ha joke. Try to exit the valley at least 10 times. Easy peasy, no big deal. You have to have rescued the Harvest Goddess, which means you had to have had 60 sprites, which I will go into later. It's already its own shit show on its own. You have to have passed out from exhaustion at least 10 times. You have to have given her 10 gifts, and that's about it. So, the game originally could not detect if you had animals killed off or not. So the game was not able to let you get to this Purple Heart event. So you were fucked, locked, you couldn't do with it. Go cry about it. And I did. Many times. I cried about it so many times. But, you know, I got the fixed version, and I did this. The Blue Heart event, you had to have given her 1,000 gifts. And that's about it for that heart event. Nothing else too crazy. The Yellow Heart event, you had to have passed out from exhaustion at least 100 times. Not too bad. The killing animals, though, was the big mental hurdle. I'd say the worst, grindy hurdle was giving her so many gifts, because you can't give a stack of gifts to somebody. If you do, it only counts as one gift. So you had to, and you can't necessarily, you could give them limitless gifts in a day, but still you don't want to sit there, do it over and over and over and over. But before she will even accept your blue feather, you have to have given her 10,000 gifts, which was a nightmare. But I did it, because I'm that bitch. I'm that girl. I know what I want, and I'm going to get it. After 19 years. It took... Did I mention it took me 19 years to do this? The gift giving part I did first because easiest one there is. Tedious but easy. I saved the animal killing for last because I know they're just little pixels with code, but I come on, man. The cow, he's so cute. I don't want to hurt the cow, but gotta kill him. I did it eventually. Didn't like it, but hey, I have a wife now. I'm married. This took me about 3 weeks, which doesn't sound that bad, but it was 3 weeks of doing this for like 10 hours a day. I was very determined. For years, I would play this game and get the witch to a red heart and then show her the blue feather over and over and over again like a fucking mad woman, as if one day she would finally accept it. And like I mentioned earlier with the 60 harvest sprites, the game is already hard enough to just get married into a normal candidate. You had to find 60 of the 101 harvest sprites, which is really not easy. And when I was a kid, I got an action replay from GameStop and I was able to cheat to get almost 60 sprites, and then I'd work really hard to get like a few of the more difficult ones just to get to 60. On the girl version, Harvest Moon DS Cute, I used it basically to marry Sky, who I was more so drawn to because he was like a phantom thief who only showed up at night and like had cutscenes of him like, you know, going on heists and stuff, and that really made him a more interesting character compared to the more relaxed vibe of the whole valley. And there was actually supposed to be like a pseudo lesbian marriage system in DS Cute, which was called the best friend system, but it was not included in the US version, apparently due to a glitch that they did not later fix. So I could have been gay married to the witch, but no, they took that from me. Anyway, in the boy version of the game, I never got married because I only wanted to marry the witch. In my child mind, I would be betraying her. 'Cause, you know what, even though we couldn't get married, that was my girlfriend. And even though my like OG lesbian resident Nami was like right there, the witch was just like the one for me. I couldn't settle. I'm kind of mad at myself for not actually like documenting my gameplay of doing this whole thing, especially since it meant so much to me, but I just wasn't thinking of it at the time of doing it. Much like when I caught over 1,000 Pokemon in Pokemon Diamond, deposited them into my Pokemon Ranch on the Wii, and then that nagged me a Mew from Haley, who looks very unfortunate that she's there. And I also feel bad for my like 500 Shinxes that are trapped in my Wii. I should probably like boot that up and go visit them soon. Harvest Moon DS is just generally like a weird game. Thomas is there and you can like let your dog kill him, which is like, I love that. But the game does go straight to the credits and end if you do that. But he also gives you this dog ball that really just is infuriating in many ways. Even if you keep it in your house, sometimes he'll show up and be like, hey, I found that ball you lost. And I'm like, sure didn't, but thanks. If you try to ship the ball, he's like, what the fuck? I gave this to you. Why are you selling it? Are you broke? Here's another one. You can't get rid of the ball. So eventually when you get the cabinet, though, you can put it in the cabinet. Point is, Thomas all around, really just a fucking vibe killer. And you know what? Fuck him in that ball. Fuck your ball, Thomas. But at the end of the day, I love this game. Marrying the witch princess in it, truly, madly, deeply. It's just something I've always wanted to do. And I did it. And now that I can boot up the game and like see her in my house, being my wife, it really, I feel a little, the inner child in me has been healed a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit, you know? And thankfully there were a couple of the games you could marry her in, but like it wasn't the same. I wanted to marry her in this game, this one, and I did it. And I thought I'd draw a little picture of her, and I think it turned out okay. I struggle deeply with lighting, and I think it's pretty evident, but I kind of just played around for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? That doesn't look too bad, does it? No. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy your night, day, whatever the sky looks like, wherever you are. And I hope you never have to kill 50 barn animals. to marry a fictional woman.